Play that fucking beat.
Google motherfuckers.
That's the name of the podcast. It's called Google Motherfuckers. No, I'm just playing. Yo, we haven't named the podcast yet, but we'll name it soon. It'll probably be named before this episode releases. If this episode releases, I am ATG. I rap sometimes. I'm in a band called Discrepancies. And I mean, shit, I sell home security. So if you need just shit, I mean, any of those things, just hit your boy up. Let's go ahead and move along. Who else we get? To my left, we got Rob. Rob, pick up your microphone. Tell them who you are.
I'm Rob. I am a guy, and I used to rap in a group a long time ago.
Okay.
And I also run lights at venues for bands and talk shit.
Yeah, man. Rob doesn't hold back.
That's it. I'm very blunt and honest and to the fact, and I have whiskey in my hands. So
Dude's drinking my Seagrams.
And I went into the gas station and I said, I don't want to get into this story right now, but I did go into the gas station. I told her to give me the shittiest whiskey she had, and she was like, I don't know which one that. And I was
She's like,
just
I got
give
you,
me the
fam.
Seagram 7.
7 with a lime is my shit.
Yeah, I'm going with 7 and cherry Coke in a tall boy can.
I see that.
That's how we do it here.
Okay. You want a glass? Are you good? You just gonna mix it like that?
No, we're gonna just drink it, bro. I mean, you guys.
That's how I save money at the comedy shows lately. I don't buy beer. I just bring a flask and I'll sit a can soda.
And this gentleman to my left talking is.
I'm Brad.
Brad
Williford. I am a
Yo, dude, man, bro.
Yo, dude, man, bro. I'm a wannabe comedian. I'm not like the guy next to me, which is a world class.
Get the fuck out of here.
But no, that's what I try to do. I'm a wannabe comedian, and I'm a carpenter, and I'm also a hardscape supervisor.
You're doing everything out here, man.
I'm a Leo. I like long scrolls down my phone.
Jesus.
I find that hard to believe with your 7 friends on Facebook. Like,
Yeah,
what stories
what
you
you
watching?
scrolling?
Yeah.
Oh, I get into
Pornhub.
He's in minimalist. He only keeps what he needs.
You're falling down a rabbit hole on Pornhub. Like, that's... I'm telling you, one time I was trying to invest into this robotics company, and it was making this new sex doll. Somehow I ended up on fucking Pornhub jerking off to robots.
You wildin', man.
All while I was just trying to trade a fucking robot stock.
All right, let's move on.
This gentleman to your left is.
I'm John. My name is Jon Maddy. I am a county class comedian. I'm also a mechanic. I'm actually going to college right now. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Where do you go to college at?
Jefferson College down in
Hey.
Hillsboro. Yeah.
All right.
They've got a really good automotive program. That's not why I'm here to talk about, but that's what I do.
I hear they got a good meth program too.
If you guys ever want to go learn about cars, go see them. Best bang for your buck.
Hell yeah. Let's get right into the shit. All right, I'm going to ask some controversial shit.
Oh god.
Somewhat. I already know how I feel about this somewhat, but I want to pick you guys' brain. Is Post Malone hip hop?
No.
Who's Post Malone?
No.
Are you serious?
Get the fuck
No,
out
I
of
know
here.
he is. He got the tattoos and shit. I just
It's
know,
Dub Flow.
I don't know any of
It's
his.
Dub
Not at
Flow.
all. Not at all, man. That's not even a question, I don't think.
No.
Well, I think I've said Post Malone is Dub Flow with cable, and Dub Flow is Dub Flow with DirecTV. You guys see those commercials? 'Cause they look alike, but like Post Malone looks like the Aldi version of Dub Flow. Like Dub Flow looks like a healthy Post Malone.
Damn, man. Damn, I never even tripped off that.
I disagree.
Really,
I know
but-
Dub
He
Flow.
said, I disagree with
Yeah,
that.
with the
Nah,
bank
no.
account thing, yeah, I'm sure. But the
Yeah.
looks, you could tell that Post Malone's been on the road a long time.
Yeah, man. Post
Nah,
Malone
you can
looks
watch
like a
some old
germ.
videos of Post
Didn't
Malone.
he just do the Budweiser commercial for the Bud Light Mango? Because I swear, isn't
he's
that,
got
is
one-
that
he
guy?
got-
That's the guy. Okay,
That's probably
that shit was
playing
pretty
on
funny.
the Super Bowl right now.
that was pretty
Damn.
funny. I was
All right,
laughing.
before
at
we
that.
start, we roasting his looks and shit, but I mean,
I'm
like,
sorry. No, he's got hip hop to him,
He
but
said
he's
that.
not hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you've seen the videos when he first started out. He was like just covering Bob Dylan and shit. When he
Yeah,
was,
he's a real musician and shit, though, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's why
I
don't
respect
call
him for that
hip
shit.
hop.
Yeah, I've
I was
heard he's
saying it in
really
a good
actually
light.
talented. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
He's
He
a
is.
nice dude too, from what I hear. So
Right.
but also, you know,
I think he'd be cool to hang out with.
but I don't
Shit.
think he fits in
Yeah.
that category.
He's never gonna
You
get
know
on
what
this
I mean? I don't
podcast
think
after-
I think he's a pop.
Not
That's
after
pop
what we
music.
just said about
You
it.
can't pigeonhole him into just hip hop.
Yeah, it's pop music. That's
It's pop.
music.
I think
yeah.
he should be up there with like Taylor Swift and like that's the categories he should be in.
He's
honestly.
like that dude.
Like that.
What's that guy's name with all the tattoos that goes to open mics and he always opens
Gary
up
Becker.
and he does the my job is to remind people to lock their cars.
Yeah,
that's
Gary.
Post Malone. Like he just is outside of the mall. People are like, honey, did you lock your car? That joke is funny.
He's
I
got
think
this
he's
joke where he says, whenever I go to any store, they help me immediately. They're like, "Can I help you?" To make
Oh,
sure
yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
stealing, basically.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got the tattoos on the face and the neck. Rough life.
Nah, he
So-
did that to himself. You can't say rough life to somebody with face tattoos. They consciously did that.
Yeah,
I know,
man, they
it's-
made that decision.
He did that before being famous too.
All right.
But even when I was a kid,
I
I
guess
never
that
was
was pretty
like,
unanimous,
no.
man. I was expecting somebody to have some pushback on that.
What,
We gotta
Post
have.
Malone and hip hop?
Yeah, yeah.
But
man.
like here, let's ask this question then. So like you want to go bolder with that? Then like let's say is like Kanye hip hop because like he has songs that are pop too and also hip hop.
It depends on which Kanye we talking.
Not that I know shit about, and that's real
Yeah, there's
too.
a- yeah,
that's
there's
what I'm
a few
saying. And
Kanyes.
not that I know shit about Post Malone's catalog enough to fucking weigh something against Kanye, but I'm saying like you take like some Kanye songs like Stronger or something. It's like more pop than it is a hip hop song in a way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even though he's like raps in it and it rhymes, but fucking it's not like.
But at
the
least he
barn
has
out
that
or-
element, though.
Well, we
Yeah.
also need to figure out the line of hip hop and rap though too.
Yeah.
Because with
Yeah.
Kanye back in the day, he did some raps and it was clean. Back in his like, what was that?
Well, so did Post at the beginning.
I've never
He
heard
was-
Post Malone rap.
Yeah, that's. I mean, but
Yeah, I
he
don't
has,
feel like
like
Post Malone's hip hop or
You don't-
rap
you
at
don't
all, but I'm
think-
saying like it's pop music. But then I just took it to a
White
different place
Iverson's
for you
kind of
because that's kind of what you were.
hip-hop, though.
Right.
That was his
Yeah,
first
no,
kind of
no,
conflict
no,
like
because
this.
and now he's gospel.
And Kanye
Yeah,
doesn't know how to
well,
play
he-
guitar.
But he's rapping on the gospel album. You know what I'm saying? So
But
like,
see,
is
Kanye
it
is
like,
the dude who like I credit, and not just me, but from my understanding, is the guy who like bridged this gap between hip hop and pop, like made hip hop this commercial. Not that I mean, hip hop was a commercial success before Kanye got
Right,
into
right.
it. Let's be 100% real about that. But like bridged this field to where it's like now hip hop is like this mainstream fucking thing. You know what I mean? That it's like a household name, and you know what I mean? Like all these artists are on Coachella and fucking, you know what I mean? Shit.
Yeah, it's like
shit
one of
like
the
that,
number
you know
one.
what I mean? I can
yeah.
go on
growing
forever, but
industry,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like he was supposedly that was
Genres.
like during his era, from when he was around with like, you know, Graduation and fucking, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Stuff like that.
I
Flashing
think Kanye
Lights
is
and,
solidified, honestly.
you know, because like you take like that album, like Stronger and Flashing Lights and all those
Yeah.
albums like that, and then
He
Dark
produced
Twisted
H to the
Fantasy
Izzo.
After that, like basically that was the first.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he made all those beats. He made a bunch of beats for
Yeah.
you know, and that's the thing is like that dude has so many Grammys, and I try to say that to people who try to disparage Kanye. Not that I'm some. The thing is this, dude. Let me forward this by saying I'm not some huge Kanye fan. I know Graduation, and I don't know really a lot of his. I know his mainstream shit, but I don't know a lot of his other shit. But in
With
that same
his-
right, people try to give. Let me say this: people try to give that dude shit all the time for being like, you know what I mean. Oh, it's whatever because he comes out and just says whatever the fuck
Some
he
crazy
wants and
fucking
he's
shit,
a
yeah.
crazy fuck. But it's like that dude has more. You can't name somebody with more Grammys than that dude does.
Right,
You
and you-
literally cannot fucking do it, dude. And it's like.
But in that same breath, fuck the Grammys.
Yeah, I mean, and that's whatever, but I mean, that dude sells albums, man. That dude turns his shit out, dude. He's fucking hustling like nobody else. And, dude, he doesn't write songs. The other thing is, like, people make that point, oh, well, fuck that dude for this and that. That dude doesn't even write songs about killing people or fucking selling drugs or fucking anything like that. He writes songs about fashion and fucking his wife and how he wants to be a better person and shit like that, dude. And it's like, all this motivational shit that people disparage this motherfucker like he's just out here slanging drugs on the block or making fucking ghetto dope. You know what I mean? Make crack like this. Are you fucking kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, Jesus Christ, dude.
I haven't really heard people. Only criticism I hear about Kanye is when he's on there talking about slavery was a choice and fucking.
Well, now,
wearing the
I mean,
MAGA hats and
that's
shit like
he done went off the fucking deep end.
but
Now, I'm
they-
saying before though. I'm talking. I'm thinking more. I guess.
Kardashian pussy
I guess
got-
I'm
got-
stuck at 10 years ago or fucking 5 years ago or whatever. Whenever people would
He
just
been hanging out
criticize
with
him for
Bru-
being crazy.
Caitlyn just
But I guess he is
too
fucking
hard.
crazy. He did make a
I think-
gospel album and fucking
yeah.
is all about fucking supporting Trump and
Hey.
it's all about fucking.
And he's still one of the #1 selling artists
Hey,
out.
slavery.
I always say like this.
He he's solidified.
Because I used to
man.
get into this argument about Lil Wayne.
Sorry.
Back in the day, I stopped listening to rap when Lil Wayne started getting real
Yeah,
famous.
man.
I was like, I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with this. This shit's just going south. And then you really started seeing these mumble rappers really come along.
Yeah, hey.
And I always said, millions of people can't be wrong. Millions of people love this guy. I don't like him. But there's something there that, just like Kanye, he's got all these awards and millions of people like him. So there's obviously something there. Just because I don't like him and I don't like his stuff and vibe with it.
But but here's the thing, dude. Like I feel you on that 100% because like dude. Oh, I'll go all day about this, man. Like Wayne is fucking, dude. Yes, he has sometimes. Like listen to me. It's like a broken clock is right 2 times a fucking day. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, occasionally he gets a solid motherfucking metaphor or a solid bar where you're like, okay, that's mean. But, like, the rest of it is just fucking not. Dude, I don't listen to that dude. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm hanging on every fucking bar. Like, oh my fucking God, my mind is blown. No, there's no, like, lead. Dude, it's just, I don't. Show me something. Fucking show me something that I should be by that dude. That I should be like, holy fuck, this is incredible.
Yeah.
And it's where it's not just the fucking beat. You know what I mean? Like,
his
I love that
production.
fucking.
Manny Fresh.
You know where
Dude,
Lil
you know what I
Wayne
mean?
got
Like-
his respect from? The only thing I ever sat down and was like, oh, okay. When he sat on a stool and played the guitar and performed his own shit that he wrote. And it was like, that's a musician. That's what you should be doing. Stop making out with Birdman. Pick up that guitar. Put down the skateboard because you can't skate.
man.
And fucking do your thing on the music.
Hey, you're right. Hey, back in the day, so this is, I was the biggest advocate. So like back when Lil Wayne was at his peak, my favorite rappers at that time were Kanye West and The Game. Like you couldn't tell me anything about these.
What, like the Game
motherfuckers, right?
first album, The Game?
It's back when documentary dropped,
documentary, right?
and Kanye was at his peak at that time too.
Is that the one where he released that song talking about where he drops like talking about John Lennon and the Beatles and he like makes references to all kinds of shit in one of the Game song and I was like, respect.
Yeah, oh yeah. The Game, that first album, all the rest aren't as good, but some of them are really fucking good. Actually, his newest album is really fucking good, but I stopped listening to him really after the documentary. But so The Game and Kanye was my shit, and everybody else, all my other family members was Wayne, and I kept telling him, I was like, Wayne is, to me, this is not good. He can rap, but he's not nowhere near the best rapper. Like he's not even fucking close in my opinion, and like. So we would argue, and these dudes were like, and nowadays, I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying, it's not a big deal, not a big deal. All right, we might have to scrap this shit before I get into it.
No.
Before I get right into it.
No. Here's the thing.
I money on you
let me
over
say
him
this.
all day on lyric if y'all
Right,
into a
no,
battle.
hold on,
Let me say
finish.
this. I think that like people give that dude, and this is again. Same subject, but let me flip it a little bit. I think people give that dude a bunch of credit because, that dude goes in and doesn't write shit and just goes in and bars out and fucking, he rhymes words and whatever, fucking peanut butter and fucking nutter and what the fuck ever, man. You know what I mean? Like, all day. But I'm saying, like, that to me is not like a reason to be. Like Jay-Z does that shit and it's fucking incredible. You know what I mean? When he goes in and doesn't write shit and like you see him go in and here, let me just rip out, dust your shoulders off. You know what I mean? Real quick and fucking.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like it's just barred out fucking insanity, and there's a bunch of metaphors and fucking double entendres
That's what
in
it
it.
was.
You know what I mean? And shit
it
like
was
that.
It was all his punch. He's a very big punchline rapper, and a lot of Lil Wayne. So I think a lot of people that's what they held on to. But the shit is like very corny at times.
Is he though? That shit,
it's very corny at times.
It's not fucking like it because like if your punchline's like
poop stains.
Yeah, like fucking fucked her on the had a baby
Hey,
on the
I ain't
steps.
even
That's
gonna
my
lie.
stepchild.
I ain't gonna lie.
This is like
I got stopped by a lady cop. That shit. I was
I
like,
hate that shit, man.
Love that.
Because
I
I've
told
always wanted a fucking female cop. Something
but
about
listen.
that. That's like a bucket list. That
But we would argue about Lil Wayne and everybody, and I'd be like, all right, but he works for this dude. He calls him daddy, and he kisses him on the lips. Everybody would act like I didn't say shit. Nobody wanted to talk about that, and I was like,
And
you know
back
what I'm saying?
then, it was a bigger deal. Like today.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Who gives
Or
a
like he
fuck?
was on a show 106 in Park. I'm showing my age, but he was on 106 in Park back in the day, and he was they asked Birdman, they're like, hey, man, how do you make out with girls with all those diamonds and shit in your mouth? And Lil Wayne interrupts and goes, he doesn't. I'm the only person he kisses. Like he's and like it got weird. Yeah, look at that shit. It's on.
And then
it's
they
on
did their
YouTube.
award show to Kiss
It's
and
on
shit,
YouTube,
though, didn't they?
I don't know about that, but it just got real fucking awkward when he said that shit, and they were like, "Wait, what?" And then they just kind of
He
moved
said
on.
it like it was nothing.
He was like, "It ain't no funny shit, nothing like that." What the fuck you mean it ain't no funny shit? Like you can't. Like, you're the only person he kisses on the mouth.
Birdman's a fucking weirdo, dude.
Birdman's a real man.
Is he
And,
done
like,
or is he
him-
finished?
And then like when Young Thug came out, he was like a heavy alliance with Birdman. I was like, yeah, that's some funny shit.
Yeah, see, there's a
Going
video, all
on,
kinds of
man.
videos of Lil Wayne kissing Birdman on YouTube.
And people to this day, they're like, oh, he's the GOAT, and you bring that shit
Lil
up, they act
Wayne
like
is
they don't
the
hear you.
goat. Shut the fuck
That's what,
up.
dude. That's what these people think, man.
Fuck out of here, dude.
People-
In
even
what
rappers and-
fucking world or category, dude, is that dude the GOAT?
Well, that's why I didn't like Lil Wayne.
People
because
just
people
slightly
started
younger than
comparing
us.
him.
in the fucking category of rhyming
people my
monosyllable
age, some
punchlines,
people older
just
than
like
me.
the simplest shit, the simplest punchline
Yeah,
shit.
man.
Dude, he don't even have like structures where it's multi-syllable fucking rhymes
It's-
or anything, dude. That
I've heard
seen.
him get busy a couple times, but he's
Show
just.
me something where this motherfucker gets
But
busy.
he's nowhere near the best or the greatest or
Please
anything
show
like
me
that.
the baddest fucking song by fucking Lil
I put him
Wayne.
in there with that one dude with the 6 and the 9 tatted on his
I
face.
want to understand. I'm not even mad about it. I just want to understand. I just want to understand how motherfuckers.
Well, I don't like
also-
rappers that talk about shit that they ain't never done because, let's be honest,
Yeah,
the hardest
man.
shit Lil Wayne ever done is shoot himself dancing in the mirror. I mean, he's had Birdman's golden spoon up his ass for a long time since he was a little kid. So he ain't.
He
like,
hiring ghostwriters. That's his other thing. He was hiring
yeah.
ghostwriters.
And that's a no-no
And I'm
in
like,
the rap
but
game.
see, all right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because apparently, I feel like in the age that I grew up with hip hop, the big people were Kanye, Game, Eminem, you know what I'm saying, 50 and all those people were like, or Bone, even if you want to go that far, far back.
Machine killed him. Dog.
everybody-
Machine killed him.
Get out of here. Hey, but just to me, I've always thought that these artists all wrote their own shit. But like if you go back, like Ice Cube was writing all this shit for Eazy-E back in the day,
Right.
and Dr. Dre has just been using whoever Dr. Dre is making music with at the time is exactly who he raps like at the time because they're writing his shit. He sounded exactly
Yeah,
like Snoop.
Snoop.
He sounded exactly like Cube back in the day. He sounded exactly like M when he's rapping with M. His newest shit, he was kind of sounding like Kendrick Lamar, but he's Kendrick Lamar's all over his album and shit. I was like, You know what I'm saying? And like,
I
and
ain't heard that.
he's got a song called Still Dre on the 2001 Chronic or whatever it is,
Well, I know that.
written by Jay-Z.
Yeah, I know that.
How the
Royce
fuck-
wrote a bunch of that album too.
Yeah. So like, how are you gonna make a song that's about how you are still you, written by somebody the fuck
Yeah,
else?
and
Yeah, like-
shit too.
like-
yeah, they say all this.
I'm Still Dre, written by Jay-Z. What the fuck?
Jay-Z, in all honesty, I'm a fan of Jay-Z. Always have been. Me and him got into this debate, heated debate at work back in the day. Blueprint all day, is banger.
I've never been a big fan of Jay-Z.
I know, and then
I'm not a
when
huge
you
fan,
got
but
into
like,
that, I
but
went and listened to all
respect where
kinds of
respect's
shit.
due. But like, he's got some banger ass fucking songs, dude, where he bars the fuck out, and then. But like, it seems to me when he spots on other people's shit, it's kind of shot. You know what I mean? Like he saves all his good A-list shit.
I
for
tell you
himself.
what, when
I
you're
like him
slinging
better
blow,
now.
you Jay-Z
Yeah.
this shit. Like that's your shit. Like, the Blueprint, you got a fucking sack that's all grammed out and shit. You go into the bar like, yeah.
Nah, dude, I like his shit better now. Now that it's more, man, I don't know. I guess I've always just been like a little bit
you
more.
It's like
think
wine
that,
where it ages.
I
Is that
don't
what you're
like.
saying?
I don't like that fucking like just bragging about all the shit. That's all I thought he was. He was just bragging about his
After
money
you-
all the
I thought
goddamn
that
time.
After
too,
we
man.
got
I thought
into
that too.
that
That's why I
I don't
wasn't
fucking
feeling it.
care. I'm poor.
That's why, yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't-
Exactly.
I will admit
Exactly.
that after that
I
debate,
do,
I went and
I
looked
feel
his
that
shit up, and he
100%, and that was
was
why I was
right.
kind of
He
like.
lyrically-
That's why, dude. For a long
There isn't
time,
as much depth there.
for a long time, I felt like I didn't dig him because of that whole fucking me mentality shit, and because this dude tried to tell me, oh, dude, this dude bars the fuck out, and he's incredibly lyrically, and fucking he doesn't write anything down, he just off the top all this shit, and I'm like. Bullshit, man. Like, listen to this motherfucker talk about diamonds and diamonds. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck ever, man. That ain't shit. And then, like, when I actually sat down and listened to it, I'm like, okay, this dude does bar the fuck out. Like, who the fuck was I, you know what I mean, to say this dude, wasn't, And that's what I'm saying about the Lil Wayne thing, too. Please, somebody, for God's sake, show me a fucking Lil Wayne song where I'm wrong because I want to be. Because
No,
listen to me now,
there isn't.
professor
This
for
is-
Jay-Z.
This
His
is my
was all
thing.
about high beats
I
and-
think Wayne got busy on the song he did with him on every song he's done.
And it
with
is
him.
a lot about his beats. Yeah, you're not wrong. Those hot beats are hot. They're fucking hot. But I mean, the dude does bar out on him just right. He is good about it. You know what I mean? Like,
The only time I listened to Lil Wayne when I first found out was back when it was Duffel Bag Boys, before I guess it's 2 Chainz now, back when it was Teddy P and whatever.
Titty Boy.
Yeah,
Titty Boy.
Titty
Titty
and he
Boy.
would, you know, that counting out day like a clock on that.
I hated
that was
that
my
shit.
shit. Like back then, I was like 17, 18,
Yeah.
trying to hustle, you know, just getting into hustling and shit. Like, oh man, you know, that's my shit. I ain't never had no duffel bag full of
You think
stacks.
when Jay-Z wrote Dr. Dre's Still Dre, I wrote this song. It's called Still J. You could just switch that up.
Yeah. Hey, here you go.
it seems like a logistically bad idea to have a duffel bag full of stacks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Logistical manner,
you
know
get
what I
pulled
mean?
over with that,
Like,
and
you
it
want to
gets
at least stash some of that
confiscated.
here now and then. You know what I mean? You don't want to be just rolling around with a duffel bag, motherfucker. What the fuck?
Right. Don't get me wrong. I respect Jay-Z and Lil Wayne as artists. I like Jay-Z more, obviously. I like them more now. I like Jay-Z more now than when he first came out. Now I feel like he's actually on his grown man shit and he's rapping about shit that's actually
what was
pertains
that
to
cut
what
he
I
did?
like.
I haven't
The
heard
black and
anything
white
but new.
cartoon.
Yeah.
That shit was that was
That
deep.
album's dope, man.
Yeah,
it's he's actually like talking about some shit other than fucking money.
What
now.
album?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he was talking
Which
about
album?
flipping some paintings and.
Yeah. Jay-Z's new album, 444.
But that shows you where
Check
he's
this shit
grown
out.
from. He's grown
Yeah.
from talking about dumb cars to, you know, paintings that he's holding for a year and flipping
Yeah,
for an
yeah.
extra mil and shit. Like, yeah, he's cutting the New York. What was that shit that he was part of? He got like a key to the city and shit.
Did he get the key to
I ain't a fan of Beyonce either.
Man, get out of here, bro. Beyonce.
I mean, she could get it.
Antonio's drawing the line right now.
She could get it.
She's not a writer.
No, she could get it, but I can't relate with female R&B singers because, you know, I have.
You ain't no female R&B singer.
Right. Well, that and I don't have guy problems.
He ain't
you know?
ready for
I was
this
at one
jelly.
time in college, but
This motherfucker.
but that wasn't a problem. We found solutions real quick.
Hey,
Hey, you were talking about 106 in Park. Did you ever watch Freestyle Fridays?
hell yeah, man.
I saw a freestyle from a guy that used to be on there, and it was a new freestyle by him. And I hadn't heard of him until I heard this freestyle. Blind Fury?
Blind Fury is the shit.
Yo, did you see the new little video he's got in his living room? It was just like 2 weeks ago.
He drops the N-bomb, though.
No,
did?
he doesn't. He doesn't.
He
I will
don't?
tell you right now.
I'm gonna
that's
look it
not-
up.
Well, maybe he just doesn't know.
Is he
Maybe
white?
doesn't know he's
Yeah, he
white.
is.
Blind Fury is the shit. Hey, he's got songs with Tech Nine.
There's a song
Yeah.
in that song. It does sound like he says that, but he says I forget what. When you hear the line, it's he's not saying the N word. He's saying like stick it in, get it in. I don't remember what he
I
says.
believe you.
Okay, I'll find it.
But
But he,
What about an albino black dude?
I don't know anything.
Is that?
what?
I'll pretend to know nothing. For the time. I know nothing.
I don't think he says that.
I know nothing about anything, but I believe you.
Like
I'll
I
check it
said,
out.
you let that
For
shit
his
get.
credit, I don't
you
want to put that on him if he doesn't say it.
Consume
I think
all
he's-
your
it's-
time.
It definitely sounds like it.
It does.
Yeah.
But it does sound like it. And he is a white dude, but he can't see, so he
Yeah,
doesn't see
he's
color.
like what's
So,
that Dave Chappelle character?
It'll be all right.
Where he's a blind.
Oh yeah, black,
Bixby,
supremacist.
Terrence
a
Bixby.
black white supremacist. Yeah.
Clyde or something.
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. I was
Clarence
just,
or something like
they were
that?
just talking about that on the Joe
Bigsby.
Rogan.
Bigsby's the last
Clayton
name.
Bixby.
Yeah.
I
Clayton
know-
Bigsby.
Clayton
Yeah,
Bixby,
let's
that's
not talk about Clayton
Blind Fury
Bixby,
is
man.
Clayton Bixby.
No, I haven't seen the
Yeah,
Blind
'cause-
Fury. Was he on the Freestyle Friday though? Blind Fury was on Freestyle Friday.
Friday. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
he was like
we
a-
won the whole thing,
He
man.
won a ton of
Oh,
them.
it's like a
See, why?
contest?
That's a question I actually have
It's
in
like a
here
roast
for you,
battle.
Antonio.
Oh, really?
I've seen you put on a lot of different things. I've seen you. I kind of want to say you kind of helped Egan's Rats put them to kind of together. These are all like little subgroups that at one point in time they got their start when you got your start, and they kind of premiered in songs, and now they've got their own groups. You know, like Gorilla J. You know, when Larry moved to Carolina, you pulled him in. That was his start. He choked at Heartbreakers. Sorry, Jay. Sorry, Jay. I was there, bro.
Oh.
I designed that
Hey man,
logo,
no, that shit,
breakers.
dude, that shit happens, man. That shit happens.
It does.
I'm
No,
gonna
Jeff's
up in
gonna
that
be listening
place,
to this.
dude.
Yeah, he's gonna
That
listen to
place.
this,
That's
bro.
fine, but Jeff knows. He's a
Hey,
grown ass
hold
man.
on, man.
Have you
Hold
seen
on.
what he's
You're
doing
right,
today,
you're
though?
Hey,
Have you
it's
seen him
crazy.
before now?
First of all, let me clarify a couple things real
That's
quick.
growth.
I was there when he made
yeah.
his first rap. I was in his back porch when he first started rapping.
Damn, hey Jeff, chill, dog. Hey, chill for a second.
No,
Let us clean this up.
I'm defending Brad.
No, I've always thought he was decent.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that I remember when you pulled him up and he was doing that, and now look at him at Egan's
shit.
rap.
Killing
with,
shit.
Performing.
What are you talking about?
I'm not going to take credit for
Talking about
Egan's rats because
Egan's rap.
Gorilla.
they
Oh,
did
Gorilla
that
J?
themselves,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, he's good, man. He's a good rapper.
Yeah, but like they all got their start with you. So I want to know, why didn't you ever put a battle like together, a big battle in St. Louis of a competition?
Didn't you have a
because
compliment
you
battle?
used to murder battling.
Let me ask you a
dudes like-
question. Hold on. Now, this is a great lead into where I was going to go with this, so thanks for that. I'm glad we didn't even discuss this before, but you did a great job. So let me ask you this.
Give me a
so
raise,
whenever
motherfucker.
you say a battle, okay, this is my question. So like when I think of rap battles, like I think of like there's so many different levels to go with this. So it's like most of the time it's like obviously barring off shit talking each other, right? Are we all in agreement about that?
Yeah,
Or are we not?
8 Mile style.
Yeah, right. There we go. Okay, sure. You go over a beat though, or you don't go over a beat. Is it a cappella? Because I see all these, like now it's this new thing to be a cappella rap battle,
Yeah.
right?
It's
Motherfuckers just
evolved.
standing in a certain, and I get you. I don't call that evolved. I don't think that's evolved
I
at
mean-
all. Because dude, here's the thing: when you ain't got to structure anything around a beat, and I can just sit here and make anything rhyme, then what is the fucking point of me even? You know what I mean? Like you ain't even that ain't rap,
It's
dude.
like-
All right, check it
No,
out.
well,
Check it out.
That's where these motherfuckers.
When
let you know,
Antonio started, when I came in, I remember I flew. I changed my flight tickets to come see your first show at Pops, and we was in the back on a picnic bench, just, and you guys were battling, and you just ripped up all these dudes. I think that's where you got that line rapping about money you don't have, that don't add up, or some shit. Because that's what all these guys at this competition that he was doing when he first started with Cypher. They were all talking about that shit, but you could tell they were broke. They got stained up white tees on.
Yeah, that
and
shit was wild.
And then y'all would sit back there in the picnic tables and battle, and you would just rip through each and every single one of them to where their homeboys were like,
See, this is a difference though. All right, so this is why I say it's evolved as far as battle rap. We didn't kind of switch a little bit. I'm gonna get back to Jeff though. Jeff, Jeff,
I tried to give you the pass, bro. I tried to get him to move on. Bro.
we
He's
coming back,
he's
dog.
circling
Yeah,
back
yeah.
like a fucking
Actually,
like he's got a club foot or
right.
something. dog.
We're gonna
I'll
have
hit it,
we'll
I'll
have
hit
Jeff
it
in
real
here.
quick. What's crazy about that is Jeff still brings that shit up to me. He'd be like, "Man, remember when I fucked up and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Dude, ain't nobody thinking about that. Nobody remembers that." And then here comes Brad. Brad comes on, and not only it reminds the whole goddamn world.
Tell me the story because I don't even know what
Nothing.
happened.
He just forgot his words, man.
Oh,
on
he just
stage.
went up
And then
forgot
you
some
had to
words?
finish them.
Oh, who gives
You
a
were on
shit?
stage. You
Yeah,
had to,
I mean that shit
was a
happens.
FUBAR.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
no.
happened to me. That's happened to me several times. Midnight Train, I completely forgot my fucking verse from Midnight Train. Smiley had to rap the whole goddamn thing because I'm like,
Bro, I guarantee you that Jeff wakes up in a cold sweat every once in a while.
I guarantee you he does. I guarantee you he does, man. And I'm here to let you know, man. Stop tripping on that shit. That was forever ago.
You have grown
Brad's
immensely
the only
since
one
then.
that remembers that shit.
I didn't see it.
Hey man,
Jeff.
I bombed
I
like
didn't
2
see
weeks
it.
ago. I stood there.
You bombed
and-
yesterday.
Damn.
That's cool.
I saw the. I'm
That's-
just
He
fucking
said
with
I
you.
saw the video.
He's been doing comedy
Hey,
for 3
okay.
weeks and he's already got a video on the internet. That's
Let's go.
Insane.
Damn. Yeah, let's go back to
Hey,
battle.
well, I want to do as my progression. I want to see you. You know,
That's
all right.
fair.
That's his 6th open mic. Let's see where he's at his 12th or 15th, and I'm gonna do videos. Like once I get a whole segment together.
Right.
I was just fucking with you,
You
dude.
can kiss my ass.
All right, so
World class comedian
You
over
kiss
here.
my ass, man. All right, so like I can't even really speak on it too much because I don't know that much
Well,
about
so let's say this.
battle rap.
Let's
But I'll
say-
say, all right, so back it would just freestyle. You know what I'm saying? That's the real like. It would just be people smoking, drinking, hanging out, throw a beat on.
You
let's
could-
just
to his
let's
credit,
just-
Yeah,
though,
but that's what I'm talking about.
that's with a beat.
Yeah,
right,
to-
right,
with
right.
a beat versus
with a
not
beat
having
on.
a beat.
But like now, like it's starting. I'm thinking it's evolving because of what the best battle rappers do nowadays is it's not to a beat. Then they practice and they write it or whatever. But the best battle rappers, not only do they write out like 3 songs worth of raps. That's no hooks, no bridges, just all raps. like 3 minutes, 4 minutes of raps each round, right? But they do that and they mix that with freestyles in between, and they're rebuttaling whatever the motherfucker said to them beforehand. So they're going off the script and freestyling and rebuttaling what the fuck the other people are saying.
You should be able to do that to a beat.
You can do it to a beat, but it's like...
Hey, the real battle back in the day was like the House Party movies back with Eraserhead and Martin Lawrence and shit, and they get up there and that was battle. That was the start of it, right?
It's harder to do
But they weren't battling each
shit to
other.
a beat. For sure.
Well, that's the trick to it, though,
that's
man.
why
Because
it's
that's
so
what I'm
good.
saying. That's where the fucking skill comes in. Because the difference is, man, like I can sit here and man, kindergarten fucking step around enough syllables to fill it to fucking do anything if it's not to a beat. You know what I mean?
So how would you structure that? So you're gonna get these two battle guys because it's no longer this isn't a we're just hanging out smoking drinking in my backyard. We're gonna just off the top freestyle battle each other. Now it's a big ass event that people are paying for pay-per-view wise.
Did you see
people
like
are selling
Blaze Battle?
tickets to
You seen
them and
Blaze
shit.
Battle? Do you know what Blaze Battle is?
Is this like recent or is this like
old,
back in the
man.
day?
This is old. Like
See,
I'm old as fuck.
So like
it's like
now it's so much of a business to where they gotta take all this shit in consideration to where they gotta entertain this fucking crowd.
They have to orchestrate a good show.
Blaze Battle was dope, dude. Like they did that shit. It was cool. It was like thing is, man, like people are there to watch motherfuckers bar out or they ain't. You know what I mean? Like it's not my job to fucking make you not look at your phone. Like I don't fucking give a fuck what you're doing. So like the thing is this, it's like the way they structure that is you'd have like it was basically set up like Final Four brackets. You know what I mean? Like you'd have it'd be bracketed out and there'd be this motherfucker versus this motherfucker, et cetera, and it would go down the rounds and they'd go down and get a champion. You know
I'm
what
gonna
I
tell
mean?
you,
And KRS-One hosted it. It was just
Right.
like fairly, I don't know, probably let's say 2000s around then.
I'm gonna tell you the
New metal
biggest-
era.
the biggest issue with the beat thing, and I know this because I just hosted one last year. I put a battle together. I put Dub Flow versus Travis Spade. Travis didn't show up, motherfucker. And I put Smiley versus Gorilla J, and then I had the winners face each other at the end. And I made them do it to beats, right? I told them what their beats were gonna be. So let's go. I'll talk about Dub's verse against Smiley Boy. Dub had some crazy fucking lines in there. When you say a crazy line, the crowd loses their shit, right? They cheer, they're running around. You know how black people get. Like, we can't handle that shit.
But the beat's still going.
We running around, but the beat's still going. You can't hear. We missed 4 of Dub's next lines, which could have been just as clever as the last one. And he's still going.
That is kind of part of the performance. Just like if you get a big laugh and you've got to time
But what if
your
it don't
shit
go
out.
over?
I don't have to go to
What
a
if that
beat,
line
though.
isn't as hot as?
I wait till the laughter's done.
So is that the
then you
argument
have to
for
catch
not
back
having a
on it.
beat? Is that you get to stick punchlines better?
You get to give the crowd their time to react to whatever you just said, and that way you don't have to sacrifice those lines that come after that, because they're gonna miss whatever you say after that.
And
You know
that
what
could
I'm
be
saying?
even better.
That could have been even better. Like his rhyme scheme wasn't even done, and everybody was flipping the fuck out after the first 2 bars because of how hard they were. How hard they were. Because sometimes your bars are better than what you think they are, and people will fucking flip out over them, and you
Not
didn't
with
even
my
know.
jokes.
So like when these battle raps go to where they don't have the beats, people lose their minds all the time, and then now the battle rapper has to they have to go back and find their spot again. You know what I'm saying? And so you can get out, so they can get out their whole rhyme scheme of what they had going. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's dumb to me. I don't know. I think it's like because how is that?
I thought the way they had it on 8 Mile was pretty legit.
I agree. I think the way.
but that was this mother.
But I think
We're canceled now, man.
but I mean, but it's not, you know, and Blaze Battle too, man. Like it's fucking, it's one of those things that's.
So it would be freestyle. I think if you're doing a beat, you got to do freestyle. So that's not going to be as entertaining because
I'm gonna take your word for it because you are the one that's been doing it.
I feel like
question basically.
I feel like it's like this, man. It's like I see your point, dude, but it's also on like the audience not to pay attention. You know what I mean? And not wow the fuck out on the first bar that
man,
hits.
that's
You know
not
what I
in.
mean? Like,
That's not in
you
us.
can't be like
You don't understand. Like
That's an act
especially
of passion.
Have you not been
especially
to the
other
movie
rappers,
theater?
especially other the motherfucker, especially the other rappers. Like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about other art. Like when I hear a dope bar, I lose my fucking mind.
Me
when I
too,
hear
bro.
that
Me
shit,
too.
man.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I miss bars all the time because of dope bars.
I can't just sit there and be like, okay, that was fuck. I hold it in, and just like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's,
no,
dude, that's how that is when we listen to, you know what I mean? If we're listening to like, you know, the fucking lyrical miracle shit, you know what I mean? Like that's the same way where it's like fucking, it's so stacked that it's like if you don't
take it
pay
back.
attention, you're gonna miss this and this and this and this and this but I guess
I have the
general
power to
public,
rewind that
general
shit.
public wise, man, or whatever. I know I'm fucking killing you here, bro. I'm sorry,
you're
not having
good,
a mic
you're
stand.
good,
But for general public wise, it's I think the consumption value is obviously higher if you can stop and let people absorb it versus, you know what I mean?
It's more user friendly.
Yeah, then they feel like they get their money's worth more and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a business now. I
But
get it.
sometimes those beats make those lines so much better.
That's true too.
All right, Antonio, now, what are you wanting to go? Like, because I've seen since the beginning that you've kind of turned into this, like, you've started doing your own shows now, right? Like, you put together your own shit when you put a show on so you don't get no trash rappers out at Pops, right?
Oh, damn.
And I've noticed, I've gone to your shows when you first started and they were just putting you on the lineup instead of you making the lineup.
Right, yeah.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
And now you've got guys that know how to get the sound right. Like, that was the worst part with Pops back in the day for me, was the sound was always so bad. Like, the music was
You
either
talking to the guy that works for Pops over here?
Yeah, I can't speak on any of that. I mean, that was probably back when John didn't work there. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
this
and
was-
that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't work there for a while, and they had some other
But there
guys
was the
working
same
there.
thing with Heartbreakers and shit. It sounds like you guys got it figured out now. Like, you know.
Heartbreakers ain't around anymore, is it?
No.
What is Heartbreakers
That was way
now?
back in the day.
Out of curiosity.
It was just a bar.
What
like
is it now? Is it something else? Is it a bar? No, I know what Heartbreakers was.
Never. I don't even know.
I made that logo, dude, that was on their fucking shit, sadly enough. When me and my buddy did. I've been to Heartbreakers. Yeah, that place is crazy.
Yeah, so I guess to answer your question, yeah, I put on, now when I want to do a hip hop show, which I did one last year, but I'm going to do a few this year, is I definitely select the people that I want on there now. I'm not, just so everybody's clear too, everybody's listening, I'm not going through a promoter in St. Louis to do a show for me. I'm gonna do it myself for sure. I pick out the artists and I just kind of set up the lineup and everything. That way I can build a show to where I know my fans are gonna enjoy all the way throughout. You know what I'm saying? And not just come and see me and then piece the fuck out afterwards.
Do you let bands send in demos, or do you just go off of people you've performed with already and know how they perform?
I mean, I'm at local shows a lot, so I already know who's dope and who's not. So it's just whoever I've made connections with and who I enjoy and who I know my fans are gonna enjoy.
So are you hoping to take over that whole scene?
Hell no.
Like the putting together the shows, because compared to some of the ones I've gone to and seen, not of yours, but just regular, local rappers, rap show, it's not.
No, that's too much work for me. I'm just gonna do my own little shows every now and then, my hip hop shows in between doing the discrepancy shit. That's my main goal. It's, you know what I'm saying?
So
It's
he's the
discrepancy
reason you
shit.
guys are sounding good now.
No, I don't run
No,
sound.
he does the
I don't
lights.
run sound. I run
John does the
lights,
sound. He kills shit. And,
Sound. I run
yeah.
lights. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's the one putting the light show together.
Well, thanks, John.
Making us look way
Stepping
cooler
it
than
up.
what we are. Hell yeah.
And it's really bad when you go there
John does a great job.
with my stepdad, because my stepdad's, he's that guy that's all about, like, he's all into speakers. Like, I think we got like 13 speakers in our one Shangri-La apartment, like in their living room. And then he's got a whole little studio in the back, but he's always complaining about sound. Like,
It's
and
hard.
he does. He has a really
It's
good
hard to get it
ear.
right sometimes.
But I remember he came in and helped the guy out at the Sky Music Lounge, and like he definitely made that shit sound good, like much better than, it's really bad when the band overpowers the lyrics, and I think that was the biggest problem you guys had in the beginning, right? Was
It depends on where we were, because we're a small band and we were new, so we would be playing a
you
lot
guys
of
were
small ass
loud.
places.
Sometimes you play in a scenario where it's like you run into this, and this is for all the local bands listening to this. Sometimes you play in a scenario where you run into a club where it's like they don't have a massive PA, and all they can run is vocals and kick through that monitor, or any of the PA for that matter. And if like the sound guy ever asks the guitar players, "Hey man, can you turn that guitar down?" then that's only for your benefit. You know what I mean? That dude is not telling you to turn your guitar down because you suck or fucking whatever. He's turning it down so that way you blend with the band better. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and
but there's guitar players that'd be like, oh man, I got this full stack and fucking no, I ain't turning it down. It's like, dude, you can't hear anything in your band.
If a band comes into Pops that has and wants to use their own sound engineer, or whatever you call him, is that cool? Does Jon just like step aside?
It does and does. That is a great question. You know, and I don't mean to speak on behalf of him because I just, you know what I mean, run lights there, you know, and I'm blessed to. But you know, he. You know, he's fine with that as long as you let him know ahead of time. And obviously, you want a sound guy that understands audio enough to be able to run a system as complex as Pops. You know what I mean? Like, the thing is like, it's not a sound system typically like any other venue. And I'll say this, you know, again, on the hopes that somebody listens to this and understands, is that, you know, any audio guy worth their salt could look at that, you know, look at that sound system and tell instantly that they're going to need some kind of explanation about how that works, because the way, you know what I mean, the way it's run is it's run through a bunch of different matrices where it pushes out zones to different areas of the club, because the way Pops is set up is it's so huge and there's, you know what I mean, different volumes, and the way it's spin, you know, the club revolves, it's set up to be kind of a intimate venue where people can be close to the artist, you know what I mean, and you're not a mile away from them. But in the same right, the way that PA runs is based off that, so it's like it's zoned out, so you have subs under the stage and all your low end is on the way, you know what I mean, the way it's run. So like, that's something you would definitely have to take up with Jon first of all, you know what I mean. And the thing is typically when you play a club like that, or a club that's, you know, the Pageant or Delmar Hall or something like that.
Just about to say
in any of those,
that's my favorite place.
Any of those venues, you know what I mean. That kind of thing is, you typically, that sound guy that runs that venue is going to be good enough to run whatever your band is. You know what I mean? Because he's going to know that room better than any sound guy you're bringing in. You know what I mean? Typically. And I say typically, you know what I mean? Because he runs sound there all the time. You know what I mean? It's like, because it's their system and they set it up and they know what it sounds like, and they're going to give you, you know what I mean? They're going to try their best, because it's also, no sound guy is going to fuck you to fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, no sound guy worth of shit is going to fuck you, because it's on them, dude. If you sound like shit, it's just as much on them. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah,
same thing on me, too. Like,
and
I'm saying the same thing, like, you know what I mean? Because people think that, man. And that's the only reason I say that is because I've heard people say that. Like, they'll think that, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this dude intentionally. No, man. Because like, that would be his ass, you know what I mean, and not yours, you know, because that's all on him to run that machine. You know, same thing for me to run lights. Like, I'm never gonna fuck somebody on lights, because
anyone that knows music, and they'll know that's a sound guy or that's the band. Like, that's a band being trash, or that's the sound guy that's got everything out of whack.
Travis Spade is calling me right now. Did he hear me talking shit about him? Yeah, we're not even live. He heard us talking shit about him. Not right now, Travis.
The guy that didn't show up to that rap battle against Dubflow.
Yeah. Motherfucker. I knew he wasn't going to show up.
You finally got him back. Ignored his call. Take that.
Yeah, I'll hit you up in a minute, Trav.
Yeah, there's no rules for that, because the thing is like, all this audio may be shot. You may need to trim things out. You may just save it for snippets. You may just wait till we get a fucking headphone in so we can tell what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? Like, environmentally, we can make it sound better or whatever. You know what I mean? Based on all that stuff. You know, to go pro is fucking go cam off the bat with like his phone cam. You know what I mean? If we got a place where we can set it up. You know what I mean? You know, all that shit, dude. You know.
Well, I've got that. Like
there's a lot of people do it.
At my spot, we definitely can set up. I can build anything at my house. I got everything I need, lumber, whatever it is. I'm a carpenter. I build shit that you guys can't.
Right, sure.
That's the definition. But anyway, fuck off, Jon. You keep on with the roll. I got questions for you.
I could drill it.